Look at all that coralline algae. It's a beautiful thing, I feel. I can put a J-bow controller here, because I have another one, and plug this directly into the J-bow controller, and plug the J-bow controller into the pump that's in the tank. I wonder if that's going to fit. I just ordered these somewhat blindly off the internet. So here's the J-bow controller that I have for the non-Wi-Fi version. As you can see here, it's a male end. The pump that comes off of the aquarium is also a male end, so that's not going to work. There we go. I don't know if these are the correct cables because I didn't really look at them that close. I think they are. It looks like it's going to fit. Ah, here it goes. It's just a really tight squeeze. All I have to do, the line that's coming from the pump, from the aquarium, I'm going to cut it, and then I'm going to go ahead and strip it, and I'm going to attach this connector to it. Oof. And that should all be lined up correctly. I'll show you up close why this was having a difficult time going in. After I got my glasses, I could see a little bit better. We can see that the little ridge or nipple or whatever you want to call that comes down on the J-bow controller is much bigger than the one that's coming down on this little wires that I just purchased. It's a little tiny skinny thing. And so the receiving end over here is also small and skinny. So that's why I was able to force it in, but I just had to wiggle it around a little bit. So they're definitely connecting. It all works, it all fits. This fits on there. So we'll go ahead and plop that in and see what happens. So we'll just give ourselves a little bit of room in case I want to use it for something else. And boom, just like that, we are committed to doing this project. Now there are several ways. You can take a razor blade and go up in here. I've always liked using a pair of scissors. Now these are packed pretty tight. I might end up grabbing the razor blade. Let me go grab the razor blade. Now here's one of the reasons I don't like using a razor blade is because a lot can go wrong. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab myself just anything that I can put in here and kind of secure the wire so it doesn't roll around on me as I'm trying to splice into it. I also don't like using the razor blade because there's a chance that you can cut one of those wires. So I'm going to go ahead and give myself at least a couple inches here to play with. All right, that's that. Now I'm going to go get my strippers. These pliers here are my favorite pliers in the world to work with. You can see they get a lot of use. I love them because you can pull nails out of wood. If you have a nail there, you can do this, and it has a nice little rocker, so you can just bear down on the nail and then rock that nail right off of there. These are so good for that. They have the cutters here. Oops, they have the cutters here, so you can cut almost anything with them because these things are so, I don't know what to, they're just so strong. I forget what this is for. Darn it. It's for crimping something. It's a special type of crimper. When you have like a copper sleeve and you're putting it over a wire, because these are electrician, they're designed for electricians to use them. You can crimp that copper sleeve onto the wire with this. A lot of time when you're doing putting in a ground wire or something like that, you'll have a heavy gauge, like a 3 gauge or something like that, and you'll just crimp that on there so that you can connect it. You can even probably use that for battery cables. And then it has the strippers. It'll strip whatever gauge wire you're using. Hopefully it's small enough for this delicate little job, because I couldn't find my small strippers. You don't want to put it on too small of this setting here, because if you use too small of a hole, then you could end up cutting the wire. But I'm looking at this wire, it's really skinny. I'm going to put it on the smallest one available to me. And see, you put a little twist as you're tightening and then pull it off and voila, you got it. So that's actually just the right size, the smallest one. All right, so there we go. Now the other thing we need to do is figure out which wire goes to which connector. They don't really, do they match up? What do I have here? Brown, blue, yellow? No, they do match up perfectly. Should I just trust that it's going to work and see what happens? Let me go get a wire net and I will test them out temporarily. These were the smallest wire nets I could find. Don't throw those away, folks, because you never know when you're going to need them. I'm going to go ahead. Right now I'm still plugged into the AC power supply, the AC-DC power supply. So I'm going to go ahead and plug it in and see if it fires up even. We're on power 2 out of 10. And it looks like it's working. Oh, and it's definitely working because that stuff just flew out of the back corner there. And go ahead and lower that back down all the way to 1. That's pretty cool. So the J-Bow controller will work on that pump. And I got the wiring correctly. So now what I have to do, before I clean up this nasty mess here, I'm going to go ahead and solder that together and put some nice sleeves on there. Before that, I need to give it the ultimate test. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the AC power supply off. We're going to see if both pumps kick in or not. All right, the wave maker's still going. It's kind of almost impossible to tell if the one in the back is going because it's pretty well hidden. Let me pull this camera off here. I cannot tell if that pump is flowing or not. Can you tell if that pump is flowing? Oh yeah, it's flowing. I just saw some debris float in and flow right back out. Look at all that coralline algae. It's a beautiful thing, I feel. Now time to do the test with both pumps. We're coming on 12 hours here. And did I come out of focus? We're at 26.3 volts. So we're holding pretty strong there, as is expected with the lithium iron phosphate batteries. The graph is they kind of dip a little bit and then they hold strong and then they fall off real fast. We are popping over 24 hours and we're still sitting at 26.24 volts. Still going strong. I'm very excited about this. Blue. We just passed the 2-day mark. Not bad. Let's see where we're at. Oh, reset. 26.2 volts. I think, I'm not sure how far down that'll go. You know, I think I'm just gonna leave it running and see where 0 is. Do I dare? Do I dare see where 0 is on this battery? I don't know, 48 hours. I'm very happy with 48 hours, so maybe I ought to just leave well enough alone and get this bad boy charged back up. We did have a power outage yesterday, a real one, and I was a little concerned when the power went out that I was only going to last 24 hours. I had no need to be concerned whatsoever. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and pull the plug on this timer because I really don't think that's the other pump there. I've been too lazy. Still have my little twisties on there. I have not soldered that together yet. I wanted to get this test underway. Sometimes those little projects just take a while. I was wondering why that ball kept getting bigger, and then it hit me.
Yeah.